Hello, hello, hello. It is 3 o'clock p.m. Forgot what today's date is. It is the server room, episode 26. Holy moly, 26 episodes. We're going strong. We're going to give it a minute before we start. I want to make sure everything is working with no problem. Looks like the YouTube channel is receiving content. Super excited for today's show. So we're going to try to make it simple, short, and straight to the point for you guys, in and out, right? Not wasting any time. So we're going to start in 1 minute. Looks like the channel is receiving content. That is awesome. And it is 3:01, so let's start. So hey guys, welcome back to another exciting show, the server room, episode 26. How awesome is that? It's all about configuring your SCCM console to deploy applications. Now, today's main focus point is getting into your SCCM console and configuring it to deploy MSI, which is super simple, and also an exe file. Okay, and I have a couple examples, plus one lucky person left me a comment and they gave me some kind of pointers of what to deploy. So I took two of those suggestions and I did it for you guys. So let's get started. So let's switch it. Beautiful. So a couple announcements. The next episode, episode 27, is going to be about the Lenovo System X 3500 M5 server. You're probably saying to yourself, whoa, what's going on next week? Well, next week I'm going to take some time off, and I don't know if whether or not I'm going to do the server room 27 on the 21st or the 28th. I just need I need to take some time off to spend some time with my son, plus start creating more materials for you guys. Now, the Lenovo System X35 M5, I already have a couple things in the back of my brain that I want to push out to you guys, so I'm super excited about that. One of you guys left me a comment with the unboxing that I did, and that comment kind of like started, like I got an itch in my brain, so I started scratching it and started doing research on that. So most likely that's probably when I'm going to build my mini series throughout the show with this particular server. If you're probably saying to yourself, what the hell are you talking about, Bernardo? I'm talking about Mox. I think that's how you pronounce it, Proxmox, which is a virtualization system, which is free. It's a combination of Citrix and FreeNAS. That's the kind of first impressions that I got when I started messing around with that. I'm not really used to that that environment because I'm a Citrix or a VMware or a Hyper-V person. So adding a fourth environment to virtualize stuff is exciting. So I'm learning it, and most likely I'm going to be doing some future shows for you guys. Okay, so today is all about deploying an application with SCCM. And before I even hit next for the next slide, if you have the power to say hello within the chat, say hi to me. If you're new to the server room show, welcome to the family. Make sure you guys hit that like button and also subscribe to get the latest and greatest tips, tricks, hacks from this guy. All right, so copy over installation files. This is the first thing that you need to do. So what I did is within my D drive, which my D drive is my second partition within my SCCM server, I have a source file. Within sources, I created another folder called apps, or you could call it whatever you want. And I like to, the way that I built my folder system within my applications is I like to, do the vendor, for example, Google. And within Google has like different applications. It has Chrome, it has blah. So I created another folder called Chrome, and I dropped in Google Chrome Standalone Enterprise. Now, SCCM works extremely well with MSI files, Windows installer files. It just works. And the latest and greatest versions of SCCM, it makes it so easy for us admins to just import an MSI, and it automatically gives you the switches, the attributes like /s or /install or /qn, right? So Next slide. So the next thing that I did was create some folders. I love creating folders because it keeps myself organized. So within software library, overview, application management, and within applications, I just right clicked on it and folder, create a folder. So I created a folder called PC and laptops. This depends on how you like to build your infrastructure. I'm not really telling you this is the way that you need to do it. I'm just advising you guys the way I like to do it, and you might piggyback on it or you might change it in your environment, right? Whatever works for you. So I created my PC and laptops. So next thing to do is what? Create an application. That's super simple, right? So within my folder, I right clicked on it and create an application. You get this nice, beautiful window, which is a little scary, but not too much. What's kind of freak you out a little bit is that little drop down menu, because when you click on the drop down menu, you're gonna see a lot of good stuff, right? This drop down menu, we have seen this in the past when we did the whole mobile management stuff, when we imported a iOS app or an Android app within, the Google Play Store or within the App Store. By default, when you start the wizard, it's going to pick the Windows installer. So it is super simple. So that's what I want. And you need to tell it the UNC path of where that particular file is located. So I went inside my sources. Okay. Make sure you're not picking the D drive. It should not say D : //. It should say whack, which whack for me would be //. And the name of your server, the folder that you dropped it in, make sure it's being shared out and the correct permissions are set to it. And I'm copying that. Now you're copying the entire path with the name of the MSI, with the extension, okay? Copy and paste that to this text box. Click on next, and you're gonna see this little guy. Click on next, you're gonna get the green check mark. That's always a good thing. Hit next. When you hit next, this is where you start customizing it the way that you want it. You could give it a name, publisher, software version, option reference, and whatever. Now, this is the cool part right here. So let me zoom in for you guys. See, SCCM already does half the magic for us. They already gave us the installation program attribute right here. Boom. How cool is that? So right here gives us /Q. Done. Now, don't get me wrong. If you run the MSI within a command prompt, you're probably going to, I think if you do /help or -help, you're going to get a dialog box of all the commands that you're able to see. One of them could be /QN. Another one could be /silence. So you could do that route and add more switches, or you could just basically use what SCCM provides you. Okay. Cool. Now, let me get out of here real quick. Sorry about that. Pressed it wrong. There we go. So next thing that you want to do. Okay, so what I did, because I've used the Google Chrome standalone enterprise, I already know 2 commands off the back. So I removed the one that SCCM gave me, and I just added /QN and then /quiet. Now the install behavior, the notes that I provided were, this part right here is wrong. I left this as install for system. I had some problems when I was pushing out the applications using the Software Center. And for some reason, the install for system gave me a lot of problems. When I changed the behavior of the installation to install for user, it started working with no problem. So I'm going to show you guys, okay? Zoom out of there. Okay, so again, zoom in. Okay, so by default, it's install for system. Like I said a couple seconds ago, I had it as install for system. I had a crap load of problems. It was not running correctly for me within one of my testing machines. I was logged in as a regular user trying to deploy it, and it was not working. I went back into my SCCM console, found the application, and the install behavior, I changed it to install for user. I even tried install for system if resource is a device, otherwise install for user. You can even choose this. If you pick this one and this one, it works with no problem. For some reason, I don't understand why it was not working with install for system. So that's my caveat of what I experienced so far. Okay. So I like to go more in depth with my customization with the wizard of creating an application. So I hit the select button, clicked on create, and I did web browsers, right? Because this is part of a web browser kind of bundle. Most likely you could add like Chrome, Safari, or Opera, whatever. You can add it into this little group. Keep everything consistent, right? Once everything is set up, you click on next. You get a nice little summary. Click on next. All those green check marks are always a good thing. So we're going to close that up. So there goes our deployment, or actually our application. So you got deployment type, which is 1, 0 deployments, and the status is active. So the next thing that you need to do is edit the application deployment type. Okay, this is another thing that I have to give you, another experience that I've dealt with. So within here, within your applications or whatever folder you drop the new application into, you're going to highlight it. And once you highlight it, at the very bottom right here, you're going to get 3 tabs. You got the summary, which is the default. You have deployment types, and you have deployments. You're going to click on deployment types. And you're going to select this guy right here and right click on it and go to properties. Now, if you're able to right click here, this little guy right here, and go to properties, but then you have to go to another section. It's like a second layer. So once you click on properties, it's going to take you to this. You're going to get multiple tabs. The one that you want to do is requirements. From requirements, you want to click on add. Now, from here, I did a couple of them. I did is device and user. So I clicked on the drop down user, and the user's primary device is equal to true. Okay. And the second one that I added was operating system. You're able to filter out which operating systems are capable of handling this application. So if you have a 64-bit application that only works with Windows 10, you only want this application to only be deployed to your Windows 10 machine. If a Windows 7 goes inside the Software Center and they install it, you're going to have problems. So from here, I basically filter out only Windows 7 and Windows 10 machines. Now, the experience that I dealt with in my lab is the primary device every time I deployed one of my applications within my Software Center. When I went to the status to monitor the deployment, the primary device was always setting itself to false. So I said to myself, what the hell? So I logged into another account. It was still happening. I removed the primary device. I removed this filter. I waited for my application to, kind of synced up to its, to the server. And then I was able to deploy with no issue. Now, what I figured out that the Software Center was not being logged into the user that I was logged into. For some reason, the Software Center was logged into an admin account, right? I was logging into a basic non-admin account, but the Software Center was locked into it. It was weird. It was using the administrator account, and I was logging into like BTNHD, which is not an admin. I had to create a new virtual machine and log into the Active Directory without using Software Center with admin, and it worked with no problem. Okay, so it's time to deploy the application. I guarantee you guys already know how to do this because it's super simple, and it's basically right-clicking on the application that you created and just hit deploy. Right. Next thing that you need to do is click on collection, hit browse, and you want to pick it to where you want to install it to. So I clicked on all users and click on next. And from here, you need to add your content. So you're going to click on add, and you want to do a DP and pick your DP. If you have multiple DPs, pick them so that application can get synced throughout your entire DP, right? Okay. And I'm going to hit next, and action and purpose. We definitely want install and available. There's multiple, I think install, uninstall, and I think for purpose is required or available. If you want, if you have an application that's published within your Software Center that's really restricted, only certain people should have it, you could basically click on this guy right here and you will get an approval. I think we go over that today. That's cool. So schedule, I did not set a schedule for this. User experience, you got 2 options. I left it as the default as display in Software Center and show all notifications. I left this as the default as well. The alerts, I didn't change anything. Next. But look, you guys, you have to understand, like the scheduling part, the user experience, and the alerts, this is really depends on your environment. For me, because I'm doing everything within the lab, I'm just leaving it as is. I'm not really bothering with it. You know, there's certain features within the scheduling. You might want to push out a certain applications on a specific time, or you want a specific application to be published, you know, on a certain time for users. That's up to you. Okay, you get a nice little summary. Progress, all green check marks. That's always a good thing, right? Click on close and you're done. Now, how the user experience, how the hell are they gonna, what they're gonna see, how they're seeing this, right? So I logged into one of my machines. This machine right here is BJ-Windows 7 SP1 V2. This virtual machine was one of the virtual machines that we pushed out the Windows 10 upgrade task sequence that we did together a while back, like a long time ago with within the server room. So I never changed it. So with this virtual machine, I clicked on Microsoft Center, Software Center, right? There goes our Google Chrome. I clicked on it. You're going to get this nice little menu. Click on install. It's going to be installing, and that's it. Done. It's just going to install. Now it's going to install, and eventually you're going to see it here. This scenario right here didn't work too well for me. It's kind of stupid because I already had Google Chrome already installed into it, so it's going to fail because Google Chrome is already installed. So that makes no sense. But don't worry, because I do show you guys 2 applications that were not installed, and it does work. So user request process. So this is a feature that I like myself use a lot, because there's certain applications like finance applications that you need to publish out to your specific users, and you don't want anyone just to click on it and install it on their machine. So what this does is the individual is able to see the application within the Software Center, and it says it needs to be, I think, approved or something. So the same process, I just skipped over a lot of stuff. Hopefully you guys can understand. Right click, create an application, fill out the stuff. By default, it's going to pick out the Windows installer. Make sure you point your MSI file to the UNC path. Click on next, fill out the information, click on next, next again, and then you're going to get this part. So we just basically fast forward. Now, from this action right here, we're going to click on required admin approval if users request the application. Okay. Now, the approval one, my example was the Adobe Flash Player 26X ActiveX. And I know a lot of you have kind of chatted or emailed me like, okay, what's the approach that you do in getting MSIs? Because MSI files are extremely, they work well when you're deploying stuff because of the switches, you know, the silence, the QN, and all that stuff. So how do I get that? One, certain applications, if you go like for Adobe, for the Flash stuff, because they have like the ActiveX, they have the MPAPI. What's the other one? There's another one that they use. Flash has 3 plugins, one for Internet Explorer, one for Chrome, one for Firefox. The way they get the MSI, there is a section within their site that allows you to apply for an enterprise OEM file. So it's easy, it's free. It takes roughly 24 to 48 hours to get a link from them. You click on it, and then you can log into your Adobe site, and it gives you everything. It gives you, that's easy. Google Chrome, really, you really have to navigate or sometimes open up a ticket with Google to get the MSI. For me, I was lucky because my 9-to-5 job deals with Google, so that's the reason why I have the MSI. Firefox, believe it or not, well, the old version of Firefox executable files, they used to have switches. The new ones, it's really rare, it doesn't work as well. So you might have to use a special program that kind of captures the installation, then packages up, like, you know, with the package the application into an MSI. You could do it that way. I don't really like doing it that way at all. If I do that approach, I just push out app V. I'd rather do app V that way. Okay. So you're going to see the application here within the Software Center. When you click on it, you're going to see, bam, it's going to say request approval using the application catalog. Once you hit install, it's going to want you to pick your browser. So I pick Chrome because it's weird. You should automatically get the approval within the Software Center, but it's going to open up the application catalog website. So you click on it, and when you click on it, you guys don't see it. I'm gonna zoom in a little. Oh, sorry. Get out of here. There we go. So all the way on the lower right-hand side, you're gonna see the request. So make sure you click on it, highlight it, and then just hit request. Okay. So once you hit request, you get a nice little, explanation. Hey, I need this plugin to work, whatever. And then once you do that, once you put the information, you click on submit, which is at the lower right-hand side of the website. And now issues with requests. Now I received a couple of problems, and I don't want you guys to get the impression that, okay, everything works behind the scenes. You're just showing us how everything just works, Bernardo. And then when we try this stuff out, we're having all these kind of problems. Look, I have problems too, and this is the reason why I share this stuff with you guys. So the first problem that I had was this: cannot install or request the software. I was like, what the hell is going on? So the fix for this, why I got this, was this: how to fix this. And this is a fix that you probably need to create a group policy and push it out to all the machines within your infrastructure. So the fix that I did was this: within my Internet Explorer, I clicked on the little sprocket, right? All your settings, whatever you want to call it. Go to Internet Options. Within Internet Options, you want to go into Security. Within Security, highlight your local intranet. Go to Sites, go to Advanced, and then you got to make sure that you add your SCCM server, your site, your website. Click on it, add it. Now, again, like I said, you might have to create a GPO to push it out to all of your machines. Now, if you're, see, this is the problem. SCCM, the website, doesn't work with all the browsers because the SCCM website uses Silverlight. Chrome and Firefox, my experience with it just craps out every time. Every time Silverlight kind of runs, it just hangs on me every single time. That even happens to me at my 9-to-5 job. So it's like Microsoft kind of pushes you towards the Internet Explorer, right? It's like, you got to use it. That's why we have it there. Use it. So this is the reason why I'm only showing you with Internet Explorer, because Chrome for me and Firefox is a pain in the butt, and it's working with Silverlight is just crazy. All right, so once you add your SCCM sites within the local intranet, let's request it again. So if everything works well, bam, it's gonna say this: your request has been submitted. Bang, awesome. That's always a good thing. So request approval. How the hell? Where are you gonna see this at? So within your SCCM console, if you go into software libraries, and within software library, within overview, all the way inside overview, you're gonna see approval requests. If you click on it, you're gonna see what requested. Now the cool thing about this is, one thing I love about this is that it tells you the application that was requested, the user, this is my default user, the status, and the time and the date. Okay, so this is super simple. It's not really rocket scientist to do this, because you only have two options when you right click on it: approve or deny. That's it. And you're also able to set security scopes and properties and all that stuff. But the only two ones that you're concerned with is approve and denied, right? So you're going to approve it, and you're going to get this. And you're able to add a little bit of comments. This is cool right here to add comments. I kind of suggest you to add comments, because if you're managing an SCCM, you take a day off or a week off of vacation, and someone needs to go inside the approval request and say, oh, why did Bernardo approve this application to this person? This person doesn't need it. Oh, okay, this person does need it because he's the CEO and he gets what he wants. That's why he approved it, right? So once you do that, press OK. It's going to say approve, and eventually, give it some time. It's going to refresh, and you could basically contact the person. And the person is, oh, okay, goes back to the site, and it's going to say approve. And then once they hit approve, they're able to deploy the application. So they're able they're able to go back into the application catalog, and once they highlight it, it's not going to say requires approval. That yes is going to be no. They select on it, and on the lower right hand side, they click on install. Right, you guys see it? Install. And once they install, you're gonna get this. You're gonna hit yes. It's gonna do its little magic. This little guy right here is that Silverlight crap. And it installs. Done. So software requests. That's what we just took care of. And oh, actually, software requests. So like I said, let me see. What? I think on the last episode that we did together, we did the whole Android thing, and I told you guys if you wanted me to do any special programs with the SCCM app and deploying applications with SCCM, I think one of you guys was brave enough to leave a couple of suggestions. So I took that into consideration because I love to listen to you guys, right? I'm not a hard-headed YouTuber. So software requests, one of them was the Adobe Creative Cloud, which I actually did a video just for this in my channel. So this goes in more detail. This right here is we're just doing it quickly. If you have an Adobe Creative Cloud application and you manage your team, most likely when you go inside the Manage Team section, you're going to see an option that says Deployment Tools. The option that you want to go into is to download windows. You can also do it on the Mac side. For me, I did the download window. And you're going to get this little guy. You're going to get the CCP launcher. So I'm going to double click on that. It's going to download the Creative Cloud Packager. It's going to install it. You're going to accept the license. Again, I'm going through this pretty fast, but I do have a video on the channel that gives this in more detail. It just breaks it down for you guys. I'm just going it straight through, okay? So you have a couple options to pick. You pick whichever option that you want, and you're going to sign in. Make sure you sign in into the admin level of your Creative Cloud account. It's going to start processing it, and you have three options. You have create package, create license package, create unlicensed package. Oh, uninstall. Sorry. So I clicked on create package and give it a package name. You want to drop it to wherever. You pick what type of architecture is it, 32 or 64-bit, and what type of license. So I gave it the server room episode 26. What? I dropped it into the desktop, named license, and I did it as a 32-bit package. Okay. You can even click on change and you get more options. Like you get a crap load more options. Again, I'm going to say it again. I hate repeating myself, but I just got to let you guys know that I did create this on the channel. Hopefully, if I remember, I will put the link at the bottom of the description so you guys can click on it and it takes you straight there. I should have done that. Sorry. So once you make modification here, you hit save, done, and it's going to start a little wheel of death here. And this is going to process, takes its time. You're going to click on select the language, pick your language, and there goes all the applications that you want. By default, which is grayed out and checked off for you, is the Creative Cloud Client. You need that to keep all your applications up to date. For me, I picked Acrobat DC, and I also picked Photoshop CC 2017. It's going to start downloading the content. This process takes a while, so depending on which applications you picked, it's gonna take a while. I think the entire folder size was about 1.7 or 2 gigs in size. So the more applications that you create your deployment, it's gonna be bigger. Plus, you gotta understand it's gonna take longer for the user to get those applications. Now, if you want to have like a Photoshop installer or like an InDesign installer or an Acrobat, this means you have to create 4 different packages, right? This one I just picked 2 applications, so this is a twofer, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. But if you only want to deploy Photoshop, you have to create a package only for Photoshop. If you want to create, if you want to deploy Illustrator, again, you have to run the packager again, and then pick Illustrator. You guys get it, right? Close it, and next thing that we need to do is open up the folder. This is all the content that you need. And again, 2.77 gigs. Wow. So I was wrong. It was bigger than that. Ooh, wow, this is the reason why it took so long during the deployment time. So I went inside my, guess what we did? You guys know we had to copy the application within our SCCM. And I always love creating folders, so I created a folder called Adobe Cloud Client, and I dropped it inside there. Now, another request was Unity. I think that's how you say it. Probably saying it wrong. Now, this one is a little different because the Adobe one provides a MSI file, which was super simple. This guy provides an exe file, but it's a little tricky, and the reason why is because you have to get a dummy machine to grab the files that you want. Okay, so if you download the application, the exe file, do it in a testing machine. So on this one, I had a machine called BJ-Honolulu. Yes, it is my Honolulu machine that I've been testing out. So I downloaded it on the desktop, double clicked on it. It opens up, I click next, accepted the license, click next. I picked what I wanted. I chose what I needed for my installation. And I just needed this guy right here. I didn't need the documentations and all that other crap. So I clicked on next, and this is where it tells you, see, download files to the temp location, or you want to download the files to a permanent location, and then it installs. Now you also have to keep in mind this right here, this path, because this is very important when we are importing this exe file within our SCCM console. Okay, so I picked download to, hit install, and install, blah blah blah, and bingo. So the downloads folder actually provides you the application that you need to deploy within your SCCM, and it provides this batch file, which the batch file is not really anything special. So it's time for us to configure our SCCM, right? EXE, because I didn't show you guys how to do the Adobe because it's the same approach dealing with the MSI. So I didn't really need to show you that, right? But the EXE is a little different. So right click on whatever folder you have within your applications, and you get this nice little wizard. So you're probably saying to yourself, okay, Bernardo, we clicked on that drop down menu, but there's no EXE. What the hell did you do? See this option right here? Manually specify the application information. Click on X. And then you gotta do everything by yourself. You're telling SCCM. SCCM is like a baby now. You're telling it, okay, this is what the application does. This is the name. You gotta give it all this detail. So I gave it the name. I know the software version. I left the owner, support contact @is, and you click on next. You got the application catalog. Give it more information. I left it everything as the default, but you're able to modify it and add more information to it. Click on next. Now the deployment type. This is very important. You click on add. So the deployment type is the same thing that we've done. Sorry. There we go. Okay, the deployment type is the same thing that we did within the Chrome. Remember, we clicked on it. We went to the tab right here, deployment type, and we right click on it. When you're doing the EXE, you have to do everything in the wizard, which is pretty cool. So you click on add. Once you click on add, well, the filter thing I didn't really do. I think, did I? Let's see. All right, so I clicked on next, and you gotta tell it the path that you want. You gotta do manual. Give it the name. There you go. You have to like break everything down. Now, content location is the location of where the file is at. Right there. And then the installation program. So you're telling the installation program right here. So I'm telling it the name of it, .exe, and the exe file has a switch of /s, which will install it silently. Now you're probably saying to yourself, how did you get that? If you go to the support site of this program on their website, they actually tell you that. And if there's other one too, there's a log switch, and there's a couple of other ones. So you click on X, you need to add a clause. So once you click on add a clause, that's what I said to you guys, you got to keep in mind of that path. So what I did is I went inside my testing box, and I went inside C programs, Unity editor, and that's where this guy is located. So I copied that, I pasted there, and the actual name of the file that when it's run within the system, this is what's going to run within the task sequence. You're gonna click OK, click next, There you go. Install for user. You can also change this option as, yeah, you can change the option if you want. Click on next. User experience, installation behavior, install for system. I should have changed that to install user. And requirements. This is where you could do the requirements now. Add. You do the user equal to true, and you could do the operating system one. So it's, again, it's the same stuff that we did when we imported an MSI file. The only difference is rather than going outside of the wizard, right? Because remember, when we had the Google Chrome, it already imported, it had the switches, it grabbed all the information of the MSI. We had to go inside the little tab right here. We had to go to one of these tabs and do the stuff that we're doing within this wizard. Click on next. Dependencies, it did not have any dependencies. And summary, click next, okay, and then close it. And it takes you back. Now it takes you back. So the deployment type, when you click on that ad, you're going to get a second wizard, okay? That's what it was. Click on ad, second wizard. That second wizard is going to take you through all that stuff, and it's going to bring you back here. I know, right? It makes you think like, why should I deploy an exe file? Why? Just give me an MSI. It's so simple. It's just so simple when you're dealing with MSI files. Well, I know. Click on next. Once you click on next, nice little summary. Next. It's completed. Green check marks are always a good thing. Close it. Now, I did a couple of tests. One is installing the Paint.net, and the Paint.net is a video. And this video is only, I think, 1:10. So this is live. And the reason why I'm not doing a live installation for you guys, because I know how it is. It's always like that with us. We try to do something live together, and, you know, pardon my French, shit doesn't always work the way it's supposed to work. And that's like that with IT, with our jobs every day. We test stuff out. We make sure stuff works. But when it's time to present or, you know, get in there and do what we need to do, stuff starts acting up. So what I like to do is record stuff and show you guys, because the recording is live. So we're not going to watch all 1 minute. So right now I'm clicking on the Paint.net, install. You can get this nice little wizard, right? Click on next. Yes, it's going to install. It's going to prepare the installation. It's going to start. It's going to check the requirements of the machine before it starts doing its thing. And I'm going to fast forward real quick. It says completed. Now, this installation is pretty quick right here in the bottom. I'm going to zoom in real quick. So in the bottom of Windows 10, it says downloading and installing software. Now, I was like always, I'm very impatient. So I was like, okay, it's downloaded and installed the software. Holy crap, that was fast. So I started looking inside the start menu. I was like, where the hell is my Paint.net? What's going on? Did it work? Oh my God, I'm a failure. And it eventually pops up. So it just takes time. This one was a small one, and then you get the nice little dialog box from SCCM stating that the application is installed. So that's the way that you know that you officially installed it within your software center, is that when you get that nice little dialog box saying, hey, it was successful. That's when you're like, all right, cool. Okay, so the next slide is installing Adobe CC. Now, installing Adobe CC took a while, because again, remember, with one of the slides I showed you the properties within the folder, it was about 2.7 gigs. This is a lot. So that's a lot of information being pushed down through your network to this machine. This process, believe it or not, took about 16 minutes. And I believe in a minute or 45 seconds, I show you guys, I'll go to the start menu, I search for Adobe products to basically show you guys that there was no Adobe stuff installed into it, which I'm going to play it right now. And right, I go inside the start. And within start, I start typing Adobe. I just want to show you guys that there's no Adobe products. Well, there's an Adobe product, which is Photoshop Express, which Windows 10 gives you that. I don't know why the hell you giving us that. Oh, wait. Yeah, I don't know why they're giving us that. I click on install. Again, it takes its sweet little time. So we're going to fast forward. Right, since it's saying installing right now, right here, it's saying downloading 27%. Once it finished downloading, see 99. I'll skip a little bit. It's going to start saying installing. And this is one of those things that you could basically hit install. Your user can hit install. They can minimize the Software Center, continue working, and hopefully their machine is very powerful with enough memory and enough CPU power for this to run in the background as well, for them to continue working. But yeah, so once it's going to start installing, I'm going to fast forward a little bit for you guys. Again, fast forward, bam, fast forward. But I don't know if you picked up. I'm going to go back. So right here, right between Recycle Bin and the Google Chrome. Check this out. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. That's already 4 minutes in. 4 minutes in. That's 5. 6 minutes in. There you go. So around 6 or 7 minutes in, the Adobe Creative Cloud client pops up the shortcut. So that's cool. So that's a good sign that it was working for us. And then I'm just going to continue. I'm going to fast forward real quick because, again, it took about 16 to 17 minutes to fully finish. And I'm going to fast forward, and then it's gonna say installed. Your Windows 10, depending if you're doing Windows 7, Windows 10 will tell you installation completed. And I went inside the start menu. You see all that new stuff. And I click Adobe, and there it goes. Photoshop CC 2016. Awesome souls. So that's cool. All right, so yeah, that's it, man. That's it. How epic is that? Yeah, so I have already a couple of applications that because I was just playing around with it like constantly. For the Adobe one, so if I right click, so I was telling you guys, like, if you right click here, you go to properties, and within properties, once that loads up, within properties, you go to deployment types. You see the extra stuff that I have to do, and you have to click on add. And once you click on add, another menu is gonna pop up, right? Rather than just going here, go to properties. Okay, cancel that. Yes. But an option that I wanted to show you guys. Let me see. Where are you? Doop, doop. Where are you? Where is it? Nope. Is it here? I'm gonna say click on that. Right click. Go to properties. And user experience. So I changed, like, the PowerPoint slides that I showed you guys. I had install for system. I changed all my deployment stuff to install for system if resource is a device, otherwise install for a user, and everything started working with no problem. Also, you want to make sure that it is hidden. You don't want that stuff to be running at all. Okay. Yeah. Boom. That's so cool. I don't think, let's see, go to my testing machine. This is my testing machine. And this is the machine that had that Unity, which I think it's one of those programming, 3D programming gaming software things. I'm not really familiar to it. I think it was one of the software that was requested. And, I say, why not do it for you guys? I don't think I have it here. I had it here. So there's a possibility that, yeah, see, that's, okay, it doesn't have the application. I don't know if I'm able to let's go to application. Let's go into here. This one needs approval. All right, so let me check a couple things before we even do that. Let's do something live. Let's just do it. Why not, Bernard? Just do it, dude. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we know it works in real life. Let's go to properties. I want to check the properties. Let's go to user experience. All right, that looks good. All right. Approval requests. There's no request at all. We're going to go here. We're going to hit install. We're going to click on this guy, request approval using the application catalog. And it's going to open up freaking this. No, get out of here. Let's open up IE. There we go. I'm going to refresh this real quick. And let Silverlight do his thing. And again, the reason why I was having a lot of issues is this right here. With one of the deployment types, I say if device is something true. When I told you guys this right here, I'm going to show you guys real quick. There we go. There we go. Deployment. Go here. Let me see. Properties. Checking something out real quick. Coronies. Requirements. So, remember, okay, within the slides, I showed you guys that I added user equals true, right? I was having a crap load of issues because for some reason, this right here was logged in as the admin. It wasn't logged in as the user that's physically logged into this machine. I don't know why that was happening, but this right here is, you know, the account that I'm logged in, and the Software Center is logged into that account. So that's a good thing, okay? So we're going to just go here. Let's click on that. We clicked on it. We're going to go all the way to the lower. Oh, guys can't see it. There we go. You're going to click on requests. And we're just going to type in, give it to me now. That's just sounds so wrong. We're going to go all the way right here, and we're going to click on submit. So we got to submit. Awesome. Yes. Booyah. Good thing, right? We didn't get that error. Your request has been submitted. So let's get out of that Zoom. Go back into our SCCM. Close this stuff. Go into our approval requesting. There goes our approval. Okay. Yeah. There it goes. Requested. This guy again. Damn, this guy again wants a damn software. Okay, whatever, guy. And, well, okay, so one of the things, double click on this. One of the things is, well, I haven't, okay, the comments right here. Give it to me now. Well, you could configure your SCCM to do like an SMTP to get the notifications of the approval request. That is an option that you could do, which is a cool option, but I haven't set that up yet. So let's right click on this. Yeah, why not? Let's approve it. Sure thing. Okay, approved. So got out there. Let's go here. And we are going to go back into, okay, right here, we're going to go view application requests. I requested it. It is approved. Epic awesome sauce. And we're going to go back over here. And no approval. Yes, I got that no. And we're going to click on install. And I'm going to hit yes. And it's connecting to the server, preparing installation, evaluating your requirements. This may take several minutes. Well, it probably will take several minutes. It said it completed. Holy moly. It says completed, but it's probably still doing its magic. Now, there's a cool thing. Now, if you want to know, I'm going to put this to the side, and we are going to go into within your SCCM, we're going to go to monitoring. And within monitoring, we're going to go into deployments. Within deployments, you're going to see everything that's deployed. Now, we could do by date. Where are you? Oops. This guy right here. So let's double click on you. There it goes. Cool. And we could check what's in progress. Retrieving information. What? Yeah, this fool again is downloading more software. It gives you any errors. If you get any errors, it tells you why. This is where you go and troubleshoot. And you let's see at the top, it says not responding. Requirements are not met. If there are specific requirements that have not met within the system, this would tell you, okay, this is where you have that requirement section where we set those two rules with the device and the operating system. If the machine that requested this application does not meet one of those requirements, or the many requirements that you might have, because you could build your requirements to like crazy, to memory size, hard drive size, is really up to you. Right now it's still in progress. We're going to go back over here. It is saying installing. And download size is only 512. Well, it's still installing. This thing is going to take a while for it to install. All right, so all right. So it looks like it's not, I apologize for that quietness. I was looking at the comments, and there's always trolls that are always doing crazy things, and I'm trying to keep it nice and safe for you guys, right? We're here to learn and be safe together. So let's go into the chat room. Go to the chat room. I want to say hi to everyone. We have about 20 strong individuals always watching me. And thank you so much for the support, guys. Appreciate the love. We're going strong. Hopefully we can end in a good note, right? Hopefully this program finishes because it's still installing. We have the data traveler. Go ready for. We have Richard from Sweden. Awesome. Welcome. We have Benjamin King. What is going on, Mr. King? Thank you so much for joining. We have the Racer. Boss, can you help me in deployment of Windows 7? Ooh. Well, there's a lot of individuals in the chat that can help you out as well. I can't really, you can check out some of the videos on my YouTube channel. There's a lot of good important information, a lot of good detailed videos for you guys. Plus, we have a strong audience out there that's willing to help and give you advice. Okay. We have Joshua. Hey, what's up? We have Rick. Why would you do a GPO for that? Put it in the client settings. Oh, thank you for so much. See, this is why I have you guys. I have you guys because my brain doesn't think of other things like that. So my brain just normally goes by the default GPO, right? Just GPO. But you are correct. Thank you so much, Rich, for that one. You are correct. You are able to configure the SCCM client setting to add that into the local internet. Holy crap, I forgot about that. That's a good one. Thank you so much, Rich, for pointing that out. I appreciate it. We have your video. Your videos help me get ready for the server admin classes. I appreciate that. Thank you. We have thanks. Appreciate the deployment. No problem, John. I appreciate you. I think, John, were you the one that left that request on one of the videos? I think the last show that I did, you left a comment requesting Adobe Creative Cloud as well as the Unity, I think that's how you say it, program. And guys, understand, make sure that you come back later on. At the bottom of the video, there's a centralized hub, the Git hub, that I drop all the notes. You are going to get the PowerPoint notes for this stuff, so you can look into it. Okay, so don't worry about it. Okay. We have LG, awesome stuff, sir. Thank you, I appreciate it. You're the awesome one. He's SCCM. So SCCM stands for System Center Configuration Manager. Now I'm gonna switch back real quick because what do we see right here? Yeah. I'm excited because I love when stuff starts working when we're doing this stuff live. How awesome is that? It just makes me feel so pretty inside, because it's one of those things, when stuff starts failing and you practice so hard and you make sure everything is working for you guys. I've tried my hardest to make everything working, because when you guys grab the notes, I want you guys to try it out within your lab, testing it out, and then pushing it out to production. That brings me joy. That's awesome to me. But it looks like it's installing. That's awesome. Haha, that's sexy. I'm nerding out right now. Awesome. Let's go back into the chat. So yeah, SCCM stands for System Center Configuration Manager. Okay. Awesome. Oh, this is a cool thing too. Look at this. I'm gonna show you guys real quick. It installs. Oh, look at that. The exe file had dependencies, so that's cool. That's always cool to have an executable file that installs extra stuff that it needs it. Cool. So we have Hi, I want ask if you have seen how to deploy using Corey to AD group. I've seen this approach a couple of times. If it's something that you would like me to tackle, I could tackle it for you. I have done this in the past. In the past, it's been a while that I physically touch SCCM. I do SCCM at my 9-to-5 job, but not really intense to the point that you guys throw like stuff that I don't hardly do at my 9-to-5 job. So I have to brush up. So I could try my hardest to try to do that. Now, because you left that request, please make sure you come back once the video is processed within the channel and leave it at the bottom at the chat, because the live chat disappears, and I don't have the power to go back in time and get it. So make sure that once the video is processed within the channel, come back, leave the same requests at the bottom of the video at the chat. I will get an email, and that would be my stamp, my reminder. Okay, so let's go back. And long and behold, there it goes. There it goes. Pressing the wrong key and stuff. It says installed. Yes. Now, because it says installed, is it going to run? Let's try it out. Oh, look at that. See? Nice. Software installation is completed. Okay, cool. Now, because it's installed, is it going to really run? Let's double click on it. Now, I don't have an account. So I know when I launched it the first time, you get a nice little window that I want you to put in a username and password, or email and password. So if I get that same approach, which it looks like we're getting that, awesome, good stuff, awesome sauce, cool. It is 3:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It looks like we are going to end the show right this time. Yeah, awesome. It looks like it's still running. Again, I'm running everything within a virtual machine, but it looks like it launched. How beautiful and sexy is that? I am super excited. Awesome sauce. Great. All right, so let's go back to the chat. All right, so we have yes, I was okay, John, so you were the one that requested it. So I'm happy that you actually joined. And that's super excited that you joined the video and I did your request. That's awesome. So make sure, come back later. Hopefully I remember tonight. If not, just make sure you shoot me a comment. I will receive the email saying, hey, Bernardo, what the hell are the notes for this episode? I need them. Shoot me shoot me a comment so I will get the email. And I will place the stuff within the GitHub repository and drop all that stuff so you could grab it, take some notes. You could basically do step 1, step 2, so you get yourself set up within your infrastructure, because I would definitely love to get some feedback from you, John. Hopefully it works out for your environment. If you get any hiccups, I'm here to help you out. Others are here as well to help you out. We're all here to help each other out. Rick says, I'm currently an admin. SCCM 2012. Has the approval process finally come up with an unapproval process? I haven't seen that unapproval process. No, I haven't seen that. And the SCCM that I'm running right now is version, and no, this is really bad because I haven't upgraded my SCCM. I'm running version 1606. So I don't think this has been any big improvements within the approval process as of yet. It's pretty straightforward. All right, guys, so it is 3:59. Holy moly, how awesome is that? It was a success. It looks like our machine installed a live application that we deployed. I'm happy about that. I'm super happy about that. Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoy this episode. Remember, next week I am off. I don't know whether or not the 21st or the 28th I'm going to come back. I do know I will, or I am going to be tackling the System X 3500 M5 server with you guys. That's going to be a bare bone. Again, I have about 4 240 gig solid state drives. The only thing I'm going to be doing behind the scenes without you guys is configuring the RAID. I am going to record that stuff for you and show you guys how I did that stuff during the show. And the only reason that I'm going to be doing the RAID stuff behind the scenes is because it takes a while for it to initialize and do all that good stuff. If we just don't have time, I want you guys to come in here and learn something quick and get out, right? You know, try to be rude. I love you guys. But you know what I mean. I want you guys to learn, pick something up quick. I don't want you guys to just be here hanging out, not learning anything, like watching paint dry. And then we're just going to build from it. We're going to take a flash drive. We're going to get an ISO. I'm going to show you how to convert that USB to a bootable USB drive. We're going to boot into the USB drive. We're going to format it. We're going to do everything. We're going to do everything step by step. We're going to be building a server, a virtualized server, step by step together. Okay. And the software that I'm going to be using with you guys, let me see if I could bring it up real quick. I'll show you guys what I'm going to be using. And this, again, was a request from you guys. And this is the reason why I love you guys so much. So I'm going to bring it up. Oh, good. You guys already see it. So this is what I'm going to be doing for that Lenovo System X 3500 M5. So we are going to be using the latest and greatest version of Proxmox VE 5.0. This is something extremely new to me. The way that I'm going to be building it, I'm going to be taking the X3500. I'm going to have two flash drives. One flash drive, we're going to be working with that flash drive together to convert it into a bootable drive to boot into this so we can install it. But the second hard drive is going to be where we're going to install this operating system, because I want to take the full advantage of our RAID 5 of those solid state drives. Those solid state drives are going to be storage only. Then we're going to import some ISOs within this this new machine. We're going to deploy some virtual machines. We're going to create an Active Directory. We're going to create a DHCP. We're going to we're going to do everything from scratch. We're going to build the lab together. So hopefully you guys stay tuned for that. I've been rambling a lot. So I catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for everything, and thank you for the approach. Thank you, thank you so much for the support, guys. Stay healthy. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you have any comments or concerns, make sure you come back to the channel. Leave your comments there, because I will get the notifications. The live chat stuff disappears; it vanishes. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support, and see you in the next one. Peace out. All right, so how you end this? I think if you end it, I'll figure out how to end this thing. All right, I'm gonna bye.